Welcome to the Rise to Shine podcast with Noelle Kustas, where we ignite the spark to discover your favorite self. It is time to get real, ladies. Hello, and welcome to the Rise to Shine podcast. I'm your host, Noelle Kustas, and today I am beyond excited to welcome not only a guest, but a dear friend of mine, the incredible Shelly Jefferis. Shelly has been in the health and wellness profession for over 40 years as an educator, a speaker, and mentor. She's a retired college professor. She is the host of Words of Wellness podcast and the founder of Moms Who Flourish, which is a community that empowers moms to prioritize their health, embrace self-care, and truly flourish. Her passion lies all in educating about toxins, reducing our exposure, and helping families live healthier lives. And then, on top of all that, she's married. She's a proud mom to 3 beautiful kids and deeply values her faith family and her fur babies. Shelly, I am so thrilled to have you here with me today, not just as a guest, but as a friend. We have been talking it up before we even hit record. We're like, oh my gosh, we better hit record. But welcome to the Rise to Shine podcast. I am so happy you're here.
Thanks, my friend. I'm so happy to be here as well. And yes, we have no problem finding things to talk about. And so we could have probably pushed record and made like a 2-3 hour podcast, but
Totally.
yeah.
This is how we roll in our world when we get together. Well,
It is.
I
It
want to
really is.
just jump right in because I want you to be able to have the time to share and just really, I really want to be able to dig in with what it is that you do because you are like me. We wear a lot of hats and we have such a passion for helping others. So I really want people to be able to hear that about you. And although I gave a little glimpse into your incredible journey, it's so fun because, like I said, we have a lot in common. And there is no doubt in my mind that God was making sure we crossed paths a few years ago. So I would just love for you to start out by sharing who is Shelly at her core?
Ooh, that's a great question. At my core, I love serving and helping others in their area of wellness, health, nutrition. I have always, as you are the same, feel like I've just always had this servant heart. And I started teaching fitness classes, personal training. That was how I started in the wellness and fitness industry when I was very young.
Yeah.
and and it stuck with me. So when I got into teaching, same thing, teaching and wanting to really empower my students and give them the education and the clarity around nutrition, around their health. And it's just been an ongoing journey. So in addition to teaching, I've always had an entrepreneur spirit and done something
Mhm.
in addition to my teaching. And it's always come back to just mentorship and educating and sharing with others the knowledge that I have gained through the years, but also the experience. Like for both of us, the experience, I know that wisdom comes with age, which we're experiencing that now, right? And I just feel
Mhm.
like that's you just really can't put a price on that. And
Yeah.
so that's where I'm coming from. And at my core, I love people. I I love God. My faith is important. And I feel like many times I just want people to experience, especially moms, the same kind of joy and passion that I feel towards my family and just everyday life. And
Yeah.
obviously, we're not perfect. It's not always like that, but there's definitely this joy, and motherhood has always been like that for me, and I know that's how it is for moms. And with that being said, there are these transitionary times that can be challenging for moms, and that's part of the reason I created Moms Who Flourish. And the biggest passion for me, and you are the same, is my family. So everything that I do, I think of my family, and family first is always where I come from. And
Mhm.
when I started thinking about I wanted to serve moms more in this space of motherhood and wellness,
Yeah.
it was that. I said, you know what? I want to create this community and a movement where it's empowering moms, supporting moms in their wellness, their self-care, their health along the motherhood journey, and have it be faith-based, family-based.
Yeah.
And I just I really truly feel, and I know you feel the same, that the community is so critical. Being in the room is so critical. And I just was having conversation with one of my friends this morning, and she says, I feel like I'm not having these connections with other women and moms, and I'm needing it so desperately. I said, well, you need to be in the room on Saturday at our event.
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of in a nutshell. I mean, I also have a for the most part, a very positive outlook. I try to be positive. I try to be that light for others. And I
Yeah.
don't really like to use the word try, but that's always my intention.
Hmm.
And also being very authentic. So maybe there is a day where I'm not feeling my best. I'm not going to jump on and be all, hey, how's everybody doing? I want it to be from a very authentic place. And I know that word is used a lot, but that's truly how I feel.
Yeah.
I
No, it definitely comes across. I mean, I feel like I've known you long enough to know that everything that you have just said, you embody, and it is who you are at the core. Like, I feel like that was such a beautiful description. And then I loved that you've been able to touch on why you have done the things that you have. Like, you and I have that same past of both being educators and then feeling like this next chapter in our lives, we were being called for something else. And I know mamahood is a big deal to both of us. And what we experienced as educators, and, like, yes, we had, a different life than some women that have the 9 to 5 and only have a week off during the year, when they're trying to raise babies. I mean, we did have some more flexibility in our careers. However, you and I have talked about this, that there's this longing of being able to have more flexibility and to live a life of joy, to be able to live in a healthy lifestyle. And you you covered so much, but one of the things that I feel like really I was thinking about as you were talking, because I go, man, what a beautiful like life that you have created for yourself, and then you get to now pour out to other women. But I know that so many women in our audience struggle with putting themselves first. So how do you, in all of your platforms that you do, because you're, like you said, you've got community and your Moms Who Flourish. You've also got your podcast. You are coaching and mentoring women in the health industry. So how do you encourage women to make self-care a true priority without a ton of guilt?
Well, I think it's so cliche and you hear it all the time, but I still use it that we need to fill our cups first so that we can fill the cups of others. And
Yeah.
it's just so true. And I also stress with moms the importance of when you take that time, you then have that energy to pour into your children, your family.
Hmm.
Have more patience, you have just all of the things that come with taking care of us. And again, it's not from a selfish standpoint at all.
Yeah.
Another side of it, it's part also of taking care of our health so that we are here for a long time for our families. And that's one of the really big, how do I say, it's been so important for me for so many years because both my parents are no longer living.
Hmm.
To see my mom struggle with cancer, and then 10 years my dad was struggling with his own illnesses. And each time I went, I want to do what I can to be healthy so that I don't have my children go through this. And again, obviously, there's no guarantees in life when it comes to that. But if we can take care of ourselves and do the best that we can to be our healthiest so that we can live an energetic life here, longevity, not just live for a long time, but live and feel good, then
Yeah.
to
'Cause
me,
there's a
that's a
difference, right? I mean,
total
there's people
difference.
that are living and they are miserable and they are barely moving or, just not able to be active. And that's one thing that I love that you can tell is very much a passion of yours is not just to live, but to live vibrantly, to be able to, hopefully when you have grandkids one day, that you are able to be active and you're able to be around longer for them, right? In a way that is more than just like hanging out on your rocker, I mean, I feel like you are definitely, I know for me, someone that I look up to and I go, oh my gosh, look at her. Like she's out for a walk again. She's doing this, she's doing that, and I feel like that there is a difference between all of that. And I feel like it's such a beautiful example of watching you stay grounded and be balanced. Uh, and have you always been that way? I mean, is this something that has always been a lifestyle for you, or was it a pivotal moment, like even with your parents or whatever, what was that, if there was one, a moment where you went, this is what I want to be out in the world talking about. This is my passion to help other women or, just people in general to understand.
Well, and that's a great question. I think that it started at a very young age. But what did happen, and it has been a part of my life, so the exercise, the nutrition, that education, and that being a part of my day-to-day life has been a part of it for decades.
Mm,
And it changes and evolves through time. But what did happen, interestingly enough, when my mom got sick, and I had already been researching and learning a little bit about like toxins and chemicals and
mhm.
becoming aware of that. I'm like, we do that
Yeah,
like when we first become pregnant, like, okay, let's look
yeah,
at the labels, read the labels, right? And that's when I really started looking at labels and go, oh my goodness, right? And
right.
so that started kind of the train rolling in that direction, so to speak. And then when my mom got sick, then it just lit a fire under my butt to do more, to learn
Yeah.
more and to share more. Because I know and I've seen statistics saying that a lot of what we experience as illness and disease in our country, you can trace it back to
Mhm,
nutrition deficiencies and these toxins. And
mhm.
so I wanted to get more of the word out and to share more with others about this topic. And then the same thing happened when my dad was ill, is I really want to get this information out. And so that would be, I would say, the biggest pivot. The
Yeah.
nutrition and the exercise and the wellness components have been a part as long as I can remember. But there
Mhm,
was a shift in becoming more passionate, but also on a mission to
mhm.
share this information. And I will always say when I'm speaking about this very topic, I will always say I in no way know all the information. I mean, there's so much out around this topic,
Yeah.
but my goal is to increase awareness. Let's just increase the awareness, especially with moms and their families, so you can start making some healthier choices for your families. And that's not to say we can't enjoy ourselves, because I'm always a proponent. We have to have fun along the way, but it's
Mhm,
just having the awareness to make some better choices along the way so we can lead healthier, cleaner lifestyles and then
mhm.
also enjoy ourselves along the way. I mean, we can definitely do both, but it's really more my goal just to get the conversation going for those that might not know, increase that awareness, share what I've discovered with my research and my time, and then encourage others to do some of their own research as well to help
Well,
them understand.
Yeah, and I love that because again, I have watched you not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. And I think that that is what's so beautiful about being in your world is that you are increasing awareness and you work around educating families on toxins and healthier lifestyles. And it is so powerful. I would just love um, if you could even just give our audience just what's one small step that moms or us women can take today to reduce toxins in our homes.
Well, and I'm glad that you mentioned that because that was the other thing going back to integrating our self-care, and
Hmm.
especially as moms, what can we do? And it doesn't have to take a lot of time,
Hmm.
and it can just be small things we do on a day-to-day basis that add up over time. And when it comes
Yeah.
to the toxins, I will always first and foremost say, start to look at your labels, read the labels for the ingredients, start to become familiar of things that maybe you want to be avoiding, like, for example, artificial sweeteners,
Hmm.
sucralose, preservatives, the colored, the dyes, like little things like that. Start to
Hmm.
be able to look at a label and know what you want to avoid so that it becomes routine. Like now I just glance at something and if I boom see sucralose, I'm like, oh, nope, sorry. So it's just a part of the routine when it comes to shopping and getting groceries. And so that is one, I think, really easy thing to implement. And I would encourage anyone listening, especially moms, to do that if you're not yet doing that. And it's just a simple thing that we can start doing right away. And then I think start to take steps to make healthier swaps, whether it be with your food items, your snacks, your cleaning products, your skincare.
So
And
good. Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this a little bit, but there are two or three products that I love for skincare that I've discovered over the years that are non-toxic. And I think that it's it takes this experimentation kind of time and trying something and see if you like it. And if you do, great, you stick with that. And then maybe you want to find something that complements with that and you integrate that into your routine. I
Mm.
mean, there's a lot more products out now. And that's another thing that I do is I will always be trying new things and then I'm happy to share with people what I've discovered.
Yeah.
And I just had someone in a group yesterday looking for cleaner products for their home and air fresheners. And I said, boop, boop, here, try this. Uh,
Yeah.
and so it's an ongoing journey. It really, truly is.
Totally.
And it's just going to be ongoing. It's never going to end. And
Right.
I will always share and I'm always happy to answer questions. That's a topic, as you know, that I'll be speaking on at our event this
Yeah.
Saturday.
Which
And
I definitely, a couple of things as I'm thinking of this is we know that it's not a one size fits all. And one of the things that you do is you have Moms Who Flourish. So I know you have a huge event. This recording will be coming out after this event, but she puts on events, you put on events that, I definitely would love for you to be in Shelly's world because she does have these events. She has live events. She's also doing things virtually, one of which is her podcast. And I know on your podcast, this is part of your passion, again, being able to not only give us tips and tricks and just talk about health and wellness, but you also bring on experts in the health and wellness industry. And, for moms, I feel like it's such a beautiful way of being able to step into Shelly's world. And I just would love for you to just tell us a little bit more about your podcast because I would love for people to tune in for more of this type of information and these conversations.
well, thank you, Noelle. I appreciate all your words so much. And, it's kind of like what we've talked about. The podcast was put on my heart probably 7 years ago. I knew I know exactly the day that I went, I'm going to start a podcast. This is what it's going to be called. And then,
Yeah.
with timing is everything. And when the time is right, it happens. And so it's been a little over a year and a half ago that I started. And again, I knew I just wanted to share these wellness tips, health tips, nutrition, everything related to wellness. And we're not talking just the physical aspect, right? We're talking
Right.
financial,
Glad you mentioned
mental,
that. Yeah.
all of it, right? And so I bring on guests. I do a solo episode each week, and then I bring on guests, either one who share their personal journey or they are an expert in some area of wellness and they share that. And again, it's in the effort and in the intention to get the messages out to people so that they can be healthier and they can apply this to their own personal lives. And it's been a really fun journey. I love doing the podcast, and I know you were a guest a while ago. We're gonna have to
Yeah,
have you back on again. And it's called Words of Wellness, and the episodes come out on Mondays and Wednesdays.
love it.
It's just been
And
a
we'll have all of this in our show notes because I want to make sure that you guys have access to this and tune in because truly, as my audience, those of you that are tuning in and listening, I have to tell you, we're drawn to people for a reason, and there's a certain energy, there's a heart around it. And I always say, I know I'm not for everybody, but for those that tune in, I can honestly tell you that Shelly has this same type of energy that I do and really does have a passion behind it. And I love that she mentioned she's on a mission because that really is what it feels like. Feels like a mission and it is going to be ongoing. And as we learn things, we put them out there, and we talk about those things. That's the beauty of having a podcast. And so I'm so excited. I'm excited for your event. I know how impactful it's going to be. I have the honor of being a speaker at your event and also, being in the audience. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so much value, so many women that she is around and connected to that, step into this world and we all get to share our messages. So, really quick, Shelly, before we wrap up, we do a little, it's kind of one of my favorite little things we do now. It's a little segment called Spark and Spill. And I just fire away a few questions, and you just start telling me the first thing that comes to mind. And I just was wondering, would you be willing to play with me for a minute?
Of course, of
Okay. I didn't tell you about this part, so this comes as a surprise, but I always love it because there's always some good nuggets in here that our audience gets directly from our guests. So, number one, what's one wellness ritual you can't live without?
Hmm.
I feel like I know this, but I'm going to see if you say it.
Well, probably walking, running.
That's what I was going to say.
I'll put that out there. I was gonna go to my shake that I have each
Oh,
day.
but that'll be my next question. Don't you worry.
You got it all covered.
Yeah, Shelly is a walker. We were roommates when we went to a conference, and I'll never forget. We were speakers at a conference, and we had never roomed together or anything. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to like get my hair done, get my makeup done, and she's like, I'm going for a walk, and I was so stinking impressed. I loved it. Okay, number two, coffee, tea, or smoothie. What's your daily go-to?
Well, first coffee always, and then my smoothie.
There you go. There you go. I love it. Okay, number three, what's a favorite book or podcast that has made an impact on you or has had an impact on you?
Oh gosh, there's so many books. I Activate Your Impact right now. I've read it and I'm reading it again, and it's so incredible. And I have to look. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but Brooke, I'll find it right now. So good. It's almost like a second. It's almost Brooke Thomas. It's like a second Bible almost.
I love it. Okay, and it was
Really good.
and the title is what?
Activate Your Impact.
Activate your impact. I love that. Okay, and
So
then
good.
what is one phrase, quote, or mantra you live by?
I think it would probably be um I really like live your best life, and I also really like one day at a time, making this day count is really what I think about.
Love it. Love it. Last question. If you had one free day to do anything you wanted, no responsibilities, how would you spend it?
I would probably spend it at my favorite place, which is the beach, with my favorite people, which would be my family.
I love it. I love it. I had a feeling it would be something like that too. See, this is when you know you're good friends. When you already are like, I know that what her answers are probably going to be, but we'll just see how that goes. But Shelly, thank you so much for sharing your heart, your wisdom, your passion with us today. I know that every mom listening has walked away with encouragement because you just have that energy around you. And I love that you gave us some practical steps in our lives being healthier. So, friends, if you would like to connect more with Shelly, be sure to check out her podcast, Words of Wellness. And she has that community. We'll have all the show notes in there, where to follow her, so you can learn more about Moms Who Flourish. I'll have everything linked in the show notes. And Shelly, it's such a gift to have you not only as a guest today, but as a friend. So thank you for being here and shining your light with us.
Well, thank you, friend. And I love you. And we were definitely, God had a plan in bringing us together, and you're just
Totally.
amazing. And I love you.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
feel the same. And for the rest of you, have a great day. Keep rising, keep shining, and know the best day is right here waiting for you. We'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for joining me here today. Your presence means the world to me. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider leaving a rating and review, and don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Head to the show notes and let's connect. Rise to Shine Co. is ready to support you in coaching, collaboration, life tips, or even a coffee chat. Until next time, keep shining, my friends.